Welcome, Regatta community, to your Balance Strength for Rowers program. My name is Adena, and this program will be 4 weeks in length, and it will consist of 3 workouts per week in addition to your rowing or your other cardio, rowing ideally. It'll be 2 strength workouts. One will complement directly your rowing. So, for example, when you row, you strengthen your back, your glutes. So we'll do that. We want some core stability. And then one strength workout will complement and make sure that we're quote unquote balanced, right? So we'll work the hips in a lateral fashion. We'll do some rotation. And then the third workout, or the workout that I designed to be in the middle of the 2 strength workouts, is a mobility class, which if you love it, which I hope you do, you can take it as many times during the week as you like. The workouts will be progressive. So we'll start, I don't want to say basic because basic doesn't mean easy, but we'll start with the more basic and then we'll progress them as the weeks go on, whether, be with more weights or more intricate. So depending on how you feel, you can always regress it. You will need, so I have a chair here. You'll see, we're going to use it for some rows, a bench, or you could actually just use your leg, some dumbbells. I have kettlebells. You don't need kettlebells. Dumbbells is great, heavy for the most part, light. What you have will suffice, obviously. So we're going to start in a warm-up. So you're going to hug one knee in and put it down and the other knee in. You'll see I love to start with these types of warm-ups. It works the whole body, strengthening or stretching, the backs of the legs, working a little bit of balance, a little bit of core stability. Good. One more time each side. Good. And now you're going to kick. So working the hamstring. Now I don't have a lot of space here. Otherwise I'm going to come out of the camera, but you can walk around doing this. You can do it in place. Flexing your foot. So you're stretching not just your calf, but also your hamstring. Good. One more each side. Nice. And then grab the top of the shoelaces, stretching their quads. Again, working that balance a little. So I aim for somewhere between 5 to 7 each side. You'll, again, find as I'm talking through a sequence, I tend to lose count. Good. One more time each side. Nice. And now ankle grabs. Opening up the hip. Again, we're going to be doing, so this workout, we're going to be doing the muscles that directly strengthen our rowing mechanism. We're going to be doing some hinging motions, deadlift, some squats, some rows, some core stability, and then some work for grip strength, which again, as you're rowing, is super important. One more time each side. Nice. And then you're going to take your legs wide, put your hands on the floor, and you're just going to go side to side. So the muscles on the inner thighs go all the way from the inner portion of the pelvis past the knees. We really want to make sure that those are loosened up and warm. One more time. Nice. And then come on to your knees. I'm going to have my right leg forward, and I'm going to go forward and then lean back, step my right leg to the right and out to the right. Forward and to the right. I'm going to try to count. Let's see. 3 and 3. 2 more each direction. Nice. Last time. Great. Now you're going to take your right leg forward again. I'm just going to turn sideways. Take your right leg forward, drop the hips, and then you're going to take your right elbow towards your right instep, and then open and twist. Down, twist, 2, 3, 4, 5, one more, and 6. Great. And then we're just going to simply switch sides. So come back up, and then you're going to step your left foot forward, lean into it, and then take it. I don't have a lot of room here. So lean it to the left and lean into it. So step the leg forward, and then over to the left. And again, forward, to the left, forward, to the left, 2 more each way. Good, last time. Nice, stretching the hip flexor, the inner thigh of this left leg, and then take that leg forward, take the hands to the inside, slide your right leg back just a little. I get a nice little hip opening here. Right hand stays down, left elbow towards the instep, open and twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Great. Put that hand down, take that left knee back, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, just a couple of cat-cows. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. And then exhale, rounding the spine. Good. Again, inhale and exhale. And round. Good. 2 more. Last time. Nice. And then you're just going to tuck your toes under, walk your hands back, sit towards a squat. Don't want to be off camera. And then you can just kind of move a little bit side to side. We're going to do one more thing here. You're going to grab either your feet or your ankles. You're just going to straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. As you bend, press the knees wide, lift the chest. Straighten and bend. 2 more. Last time. Good. And then straighten and roll all the way up. Rounding those shoulders a couple of times. All right. Great job. So we are going to start, actually, you know what? I'm going to move this chair. So we're going to start with, need a little space here. We're going to start with RDLs, or called Romanian deadlifts, which simply just means you don't go all the way to the floor and there's a little bit more bend in the knee. With hip bridge marches. Hip bridge marches engaging the back of the legs, some core stability. So we're going to start with the hip bridge marches. We're going to do 3 sets of everything in this workout. And we have 4 blocks of work. So come down onto your backs. Arms stay by your sides. Keep that core engaged. And then you're going to press your hips up, coming to the bridge. Now try to keep a lot of stability here in your torso. And you're just going to draw your left knee in and then put it down. Right knee in and down. Simple as that. Simple, not easy. Think about leading with your heel. 3 and 3. And you can take a look down at your hips, making sure there's no movement. 4, or minimal movement. And 4, trying to keep the hips up the whole time. 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10. We're going to do 12. 2 more each side. 1 more each side. Great. And then come on down. Make your way up to standing. So we're going to grab your weights. Again, dumbbells, kettlebells. As you're coming into these RDLs, keeping the shoulders back and down and leading with the hips. So the weights they're not directly on my side. They're sort of forward. I'm going to keep them as close to my body as possible, sending my hips back, drawing the chest forward, and then coming back up. 2, 3. So if you're looking at me in this direction, you don't see my shoulders rounding forward. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1 more, and 12. Great. All right, put the weights down for a moment. So we're resting somewhere between 30 and 60 seconds, depending on how heavy. If your weights were really heavy, you might rest more. So the nice thing about this being recorded is that you can always pause if you feel like you need more rest. This is a strength workout, so we want the heart rate to descend so that you can perform your next set really well. So that's the difference between, one of the differences between cardio and strength. Here we go. We got a little bit more time. So again, working those hip bridge marches, keep thinking about that stability in the core. So come on down. Bring your arms by your sides again, pulling the belly in and up, and then lifting the hips. Keeping the hips as level as you can. Draw the right leg in and back and left leg. You're simply marching. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, halfway, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Nice. Slowly come on down, take a moment, come back up. So I'm going to use for this next set dumbbells, kettlebells, because they're here. And after that first set, again, you can assess if you have different sets of weights, use them. Also, the rep range that I'm going to use throughout this program will be 8 to 12 repetitions. By the last couple, whether it's 6, 7, 8, or 10, 11, 12, you want to feel like, I want to put the weights down. So if you felt like you just keep going forever, get heavier weights, invest in heavier weights. It will make a difference in your strength. So here we go. Grabbing the dumbbells, the kettlebells, again, packing those shoulders back and down. I'm just going to change this way. Just why not? And again, hips back. I go back and then up. 1, 2. As you stand up, think about pressing the feet into the floor. 3, and pulling your belly in. 4, 5, 6. You want to avoid really not doing this too much. 7, 8. Stand up straight. 9, 10, 11, and 12. Good. Take a moment. Now for the third set, I am going to use a heavier weight because I have these kettlebells here. I'm going to show you. It could be kettlebells. It can be a dumbbell. Again, I'm just giving you the form for whatever different weights you may or may not have. I don't expect everybody to have a super heavy kettlebell or dumbbell, but if you only had one for that third set, I'll show you what that would look like. All right. So come back onto your backs for our last set. Another way you can make this just a little bit harder, without doing anything else, is reaching your arms straight up over your shoulders. Again, pull the belly in, press into that bridge, keeping, again, the weight in the heels more than the toes. Lift. 1, and 1, 1, and 2. You should feel there's a little bit more core stability that needs to happen here. And 3, 1, and 4, 1, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more each side. 1. Last time. Nice. All right. Release that. Come on up. Okay. So again, if you have one heavy weight, one heavy kettlebell, it's the form is just slightly different. Slightly. So my feet will come between, no, that's wrong. The dumbbell, the kettlebell will come between my feet, and I'm going to grab that way. So if I go sideways, again, I like to give you all different angles. So like this, I'm going to hinge back, grab the dumbbell or the kettlebell with both hands, and then up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, first block of work done. Get some water if you need. I don't have any here. So our second block of work, I'm gonna now use my chair here, is gonna be rows. We're still working the back of the body. So it's gonna be rows and back extensions. So starting with rows. When you think about rowing, it's a very similar body position to what we did in the deadlift. What you really want to be mindful of is that you're not rowing from here, right? I'm rowing, my chest is out, I'm letting the dumbbell, the kettlebell drop, and then I'm squeezing together. If you're looking at me head on, like this, okay? Not like this. Because then, just imagine I was standing, this is what you look like. Nobody wants that. All right, so again, aiming for somewhere between 8 to 12 repetitions. I'm gonna go for 12-ish. You can always stop if your weight is heavy before me and just rest. Generally, when you go for more repetition, lighter weight, more reps, you don't necessarily need as much rest. So here we are. I have the dumbbell in one hand. I'm using this as balance. Hips are back, and then I'm gonna squeeze. Think about squeezing the shoulder blade in towards the middle of your body. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Good. So if you don't have a chair, I'll show you on this side. You can rest one arm on your leg and row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, good, and 12. All right, so now coming onto your belly, so you're gonna lay down. All right, so all you're simply gonna do is for this first one, bring your arms by your side, palms down or up, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift everything up and lower. 1, 2, you feel that pause. 3, 4, squeeze your butt. 5, 6, keep that gaze slightly down. 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 11, last time, and 12. Great. Bring your hands forward. Maybe take a child's pose. So this workout, again, directly strengthens the muscles that we use in our rowing, strengthens the postural muscles. And we tend to spend a lot of time sitting, so these muscles get kind of like overstretched and not super strong. So hopefully you feel really good. And I'm going to overuse the word balance, but balanced. All right, so I'm going to use a kettlebell just because I have it. And again, another thing that you can do if you're like, you know what, I know I can use heavier weights, but I don't have heavier weights, is you can try to hold 2 weights in one hand. Maybe I'll do that for our third set, just to show you. All right, so here we go. Grabbing your weight, whatever it is that you have. And I always start standing to just make sure my form is correct. I hinge, Find my hand on the bench and then pull up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 11, and 12. Good. Switching sides. Again, grabbing that, standing up nice and tall, hinging, putting that weight on your leg or the bench. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, good, and 12. Alrighty, coming down again. So for me, that was with my arms by my sides, that was really good. But you can take your arms out, like airplane wings, you can take your arms overhead. It changes the lever, so therefore it changes the work. You can also have your arms kind of in the middle, like where I have them right here. And again, you lift everything up and lower. I'm going to keep my arms by my side. I just like it. 2, although I'm going to turn my palms up this time. 3, 4, 5, 6, keeping the legs straight. 7, keeping that belly engaged as much as you can. 8, it's not about how high you can go. 9, 10, 2 more. 11, last time, and 12. Great. Come on up. Again, take a moment here. Okay. All right. One more set of these. So I will show you with the 2 dumbbells what that feels like. And then we move on to block 3. Block 3. So here we go. All right. So grabbing, so you cross the dumbbells. This also works a little bit of that grip strength. Not a bad thing. Like this. Okay. Again, hinging forward. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, great, and 12. Okay, put them down, grab it with the other hand, stand up, hinge, put the hands down, row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Alrighty, I'm just gonna move this chair because we no longer need it in our workout. And then last set of extensions. Come on onto your back. And by back, I meant belly. Working your back. Again, variations with your arms. Up to you. I'm gonna stick with my arms down by my side. Roll the shoulders back and down, and then lift. Make sure you lift the shoulders and squeeze together. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 11, last time, and 12. Great. Alrighty, actually, I just remembered I'm going to use the chair. So moving on, we are doing squats. That's where I might use the chair, we'll see. and kettlebell plank or dumbbell plank drag throughs. So the squats, again, working the lower body, and where I know we think of rowing as rowing is an upper body thing, and it is, but the power in most of our stuff is derived from the hips, and it's specifically derived from that hip, kind of that motion of that hip thrust. So a lot of power here. So let's start with the squats. And again, if you're newer to strength, you want to make sure your form is correct. So we're going to start sort of perfecting that. I got to move all this stuff around. All right. So you're going to grab, I have my kettlebell, which I'm holding at the horn. If you have a dumbbell, you can hold it at the two sides. What's most important with this is that the shoulders are back and down. The weight is close to your body and the elbows stay tucked. You want to make sure that this or this doesn't happen. So grabbing your weight however you want, you're going to sit on the chair. Okay? If you don't have a chair, a bench, you also can just not do this part. You would start standing. Making sure your feet are about shoulder width, a little bit wider. You can even have your toes slightly out. Most important thing with that is that as you squat down, the knees press out. So you activate the outer hips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to squat, sit, and stand up. If you don't have a chair, most people have chairs, but if you don't have a chair, you just squat, press the knees wide. 3. What I like about this is it gives you something to aim for. 4. And that you know that you're going back rather than going forward. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more. 11. Remember, you don't have to use a chair. 1 more. Great. 12. Okay. So now I'm going to do my plank pull-throughs with my kettlebell. So what this is about, again, just like in the hip bridge, it's about stability in the core. This is a similar thing. We're adding just a slight bit of rotation to work that stability through different angles. So you come into your plank. I can tell you this is too far from me. You come into your plank. The kettlebell or the weight is outside of one hand. You keep that nice strong plank. You grab it and move it. And then you just go. 1, 3. If you want, the knees could come down. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're doing 10. 1 more each side. And 10. Oh, great. All right, set 1, block 3, done. That tends to get my heart rate up a little. So there you go. Let that heart rate come down if it's elevated. If you're not talking as much as I am, then it may not be as high. You shouldn't be talking as much as I am right now. I got about 30 more seconds. So during your rest, you if I had, again, more space, literally all I do is I kind of wander. I'm like, well, I get some extra steps in when I do this. It's kind of like an active recovery. I stay moving. What I don't like to do is sit down. Definitely what I don't like to do is sit down and scroll through social media. I like my workouts to be my time for myself. All right, here we go. So second set, pick up your whatever weight you happen to be using. I'm going to show you from this angle without the chair. So again, I have my feet a little wider than hip width, shoulders back and down. Press my knees wide and push up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Great. I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to use a dumbbell, again, just so you can see what it looks like. So again, the hips will move a little side to side. You're just trying to minimize that. What you definitely don't want to happen is for your hips, your butt to go super high, like a downward dog. Trying to stay in that good plank positioning. So here we go. Step into that plank. You're going to grab the weight, take it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a good one. 10, halfway, 11, 12, 13, 14. 2 more each side. 1 and 1, 2 and 2. Good. Set 2 down. 1 more to go. And then our final block of work, which is actually one of my favorite exercises, carries. Oh, my heart is up. All right. We have about 30 more seconds before we get to our final third set. And I know a lot of us that are used to doing cardio, you don't like this rest. And I totally get it. That was me. And I've had to convince my clients to take more rest. But it is super important when you're working out, when you're not working out, when you're lifting weights, that you take adequate rest. You need to be able to complete the work that you've set out for yourself without regressing. If anything, throughout this set, the weight progresses. So, here we go. I have grabbing my weight, third set here. Again, I'll show you from this angle. Feet a little bit wider than hip width, shoulders back and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Great job. Okay, now for real, I'm moving this out of the way. I find the squats in general get my heart rate up, especially holding a weight, really a full body exercise. So here we go. Last set of the plank with the weight drag throughs. We have 10 each direction. Let's go. Find that plank. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6. Remember, you can take the knees down. 1, 7, 1, 8. 1 more each side. Whew. Nice job. Come on up. Okay. So for our last block of work, we're going to do what's called carries, which is really literally you are just carrying weights. So this is where, again, the heavy weights that you have, dumbbells, kettlebells, whatever it is that you have, that's where you really want to use them. We're going to go for about a minute, 45 seconds to a minute. Again, we have our 3 sets. I'm just gonna move this dumbbell. Alrighty. We are going to get right to it. So I'm gonna find my little trusty timer. Here we go. So pick up your weights. Now, as you pick them up, again, roll the shoulders back and down. And again, depending on your space, you're not limited by a camera. You can walk. When I do this on my own and I'm at home, I just walk all over my house, trying to keep the core engaged. You could also just stand still. I like walking. Trying to keep that gaze slightly forward so you don't need to look at the floor. Getting some extra steps here. I wonder, I never even looked at this, but I wonder if you're marching in place, does that count as steps? I think so. Does your Apple Watch count as steps? Those of you that wear Apple Watches? I wonder. These are things that I wonder while I work out. All right, first set done. Put them down. Shake out the wrist. So as we progress this, and again, depending on the size of your weights, you should start to feel this in the grip, right? The hands. Think about the rowing. We need to make sure we have that strong grip. Strong grip also correlates to good rotator shoulder strength. So it's important. Shake it out. We're going to go again in 30 seconds. Finding my trusty little timer. Oh my God, I almost pressed 1 hour. That wouldn't work so well. So here we go. I lost my timer. Picking up your weights again. Maybe they're heavier. Rolling the shoulders back and down and find your little wander. Keep that core nice and engaged. Even a little bit of like a kind of a squeeze of the shoulder blades down. So when we think about our working out, we have several fundamental movements in our bodies that we want to touch upon throughout the week that we work out. Things like push, like a push-up, pull, the row, squat, which we did, hinge, which we did in the RDLs, and carry, which we're doing now. And then there's other kind of movements like lunging and rotation. Oh, put that down, third set done. See, when you talk, it goes by faster. That's what I like to tell myself. Shake it out. Again, assess, maybe you can pick up, maybe you have 2 sets of weights and you can pick 2 in each hands. That again will really work that. I wonder if I could do that with dumbbells and kettlebell. I think I'll just stick to my kettlebell here. All right, last set. And then we're done. We just have a couple minutes of cool down. I like to always do a little bit of twisting and a little bit of opening the hip flexors. For me, that feels good. But again, today you do this, tomorrow you take the mobility, you get that great stretching. So here we go. Last set. I put 1 minute down, and it ends up being about 45 before I set myself up. So here we are. Again, belly's in and up. I'm going to try to stay in camera view. Not that you're necessarily looking at me. This is really not an exciting exercise. Actually, it really is an exciting exercise. We always think about, I'm going to lift my upper body, I'm going to lift my lower body, and that's a great way to do it as well. Or you can think about movements that target the whole body. And this would definitely be one of them, especially as you get heavier weights. Imagine going through for like a 2 mile walk holding weights or a weight vest. Ooh, it's good stuff. All right. Very nice. You are done with workout 1. Congratulations. Come onto a kneeling position. Let's come into half kneeling. So step your whatever foot forward. So this is my left leg. I'm going to tuck my right hip under and lean forward, getting into that hip flexor. Really great job. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to progressing with you all. Great. And then come up and switch. So again, tuck under and lean forward. Try to avoid kind of like this, right? I really want there to be that engagement in the glute and then this hugging together action in the hips so that you isolate that stretch through the hip flexor. Great job. Nice. And then you're going to come onto your back. Last thing here. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give them a nice squeeze. And then you're going to drop your knees over towards the right and take your left arm to the left. So I'm thinking about taking my right hand on my left knee, giving it a little push, and then my left shoulder, arm are reaching in opposition. Stretch, again, I'm stretching the chest here. I'm stretching the back, the hip a little. And then come back to center and just simply go the other way. So dropping the knees towards the left hand on the right leg, reaching that right arm, right chest towards the right. And then come back to center. Again, give your knees a nice squeeze. Rock yourself up. Really great work, Regatta. I hope you enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.